Hi there, this is James Swanwick, and you're listening to the Alcohol Free Lifestyle Podcast, where you learn how to take back control over alcohol and live a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. Welcome to the show. I'm James Swanwick. I am in a Thai restaurant somewhere in Soho, London, and I'm here with my great mate Billy, and we are having a Thai meal, and neither of us are drinking. Now, Billy, how old are you? Tell our listener a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm 40, entrepreneur, been in the health and wellness space for the past 10 years, and stopped drinking about a year ago just because I wanted to optimize my health as I was approaching 40. Stopped for a month, felt amazing, so I haven't had a drink since.
Amazing. And it's kind of weird. Like, I'm 48, you're 40. We're two guys hanging out. We don't see each other that often. You're coming through London where I am. And what's interesting is that most friends who would catch up in the modern world, I would submit, would go out and meet in a bar and have a few drinks.
Right.
Or they go out for dinner and have a few drinks, right?
Yeah.
But we came here, we sat down, and very intentionally, when the waitress asked us what we wanted to drink, you said, what? What did you say?
I said water.
No, you said water.
I said water, yeah.
And I said water as well. And that's kind of like, as easy and as simple as that feels for you and me. I think that's a unique situation in the modern world. What do you think?
I definitely agree. You're breaking cultural norms because you're kind of expected to get a drink, especially if you haven't seen someone in a while. And if the other person's getting a drink, there's a social norm of they don't want to drink alone and they feel weird drinking alone. So there's, what if you identify as I don't drink, it's easier than saying I'm not going to have a drink tonight.
Yeah.
Than selectively not drinking. So I've chosen to say, I just identified I don't drink. I'm alcohol-free life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it shows, right? Like, I think the new flex, like for years, the flex, you know this phrase, the flex, that people are flexing,
Totally.
was kind of like wealth or riches or big house or whatever. I think for people in their 40s now, 40s up, the new flex is health and vitality. Would you agree with that?
Totally agree. It's like, that's when you really start to notice aging, and it becomes something that's like front of mind, whether it's your aging, your parents are aging, whatever. So you're thinking, okay, how can I mitigate the effects of aging and maximize my health and wellness? Dude, quitting drinking and just like taking something that's like not adding to the value of your life, removing that from the equation is a big piece of it. Like, removing the negatives is often better for your body than just adding more positives. Yeah.
What was your relationship with alcohol growing up? Where did you grow up, and what did you experience like in your, say, 20s and 30s before you hit your current age of 40?
Oh man, I grew up in South Louisiana, and South Louisiana is the fun part of Louisiana, okay? So mostly Catholic. You drink in church, right? You have your wine, right? The blood of Christ. And I'm joking about that. We did have wine in church, but the South Louisiana culture is very much about having booze, you know? It's just a part of life. I remember my first sip of beer was on the back of my dad's bicycle in the car seat, and he says, "Hold my beer," you know? And I was like in charge of holding the beer while he was riding the bike around the neighborhood. And he just wanted to crack a beer on the Saturday or something, right? So I would have a little sip. And then growing up in high school, we'd, go sneak beers and things like this. And college, I went to LSU, which is the #1 party school by far in the country, right? So it's a big alcohol culture, big drink till you black out, drink till you throw up, tons of shots, all this stuff. I mean, it was 3 or 4 days a week, getting really annihilated. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of alcohol. And the cultural conditioning is that that's just normal, right? And fun and joyful.
Yeah, it's a normal part of college life. You're supposed to drink, you turn 21, have 21 shots, or attempt to have 21 shots, stupid stuff like this. But it's like alcohol abuse is totally a part of the party culture of college, and I get it. It seems fun, it seems normal, but in hindsight, I just killed a bunch of brain cells. I forgot a lot of great times because I was so drunk, and you end up doing a lot of stupid stuff.
Now, I'm curious now, you're 40 now, but in your late 30s, you're very entrepreneurial. What I'll ask you to do is just tell our listener a little bit about your entrepreneurial endeavors. But what I'd really like to know is, how did you do business when alcohol was present, and how are you doing business when alcohol is not present in your life? And is there a noticeable difference, or is it the same? What's been your experience?
Yeah, it's funny because my first business was one I started while I worked in corporate America. And when I worked in corporate America, I worked for oil and gas company called Shell. You may have heard of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And drinking is a big part of the culture. You entertain clients and do all this kind of stuff, so that was normal. Some clients wanted to go out and have drinks for lunch, things like this. And so that's just what you did. And but what I realized in later life is that like you can have really great connections and probably more meaningful connections with your clients, like with Iconic, which is a protein drink company I started. We take buyers out from retail stores and things like this, and you have a much better connection with them when people are not drinking, right? And what I would do is try to get them to go to like a healthy lunch or go do something active, right? Like, hey, let's just go, not necessarily retail buyers, but other people that are on the team for work. We go take a yoga class or go rock climbing or others, and they enjoy that so much more than just going out and getting annihilated. So that was a big part of it. And in terms of entrepreneurism, I started that first business while I worked for Shell, which was just throwing a big New Year's party for friends. And I got tired of running around in the French Quarter in New Orleans, so we did a party that was part charity, but live music and, of course, alcohol, right? But food and things like this. And then I got kind of tired of that party culture. So the next company I started was actually Iconic, which was it's a protein drink company with protein drinks, protein powders, everything zero sugar, no artificial ingredients. But that really helped me get my health dialed in, because at the time I started the company, I was drinking a lot and eating a lot, and none of it was healthy, but I did go to the gym, and I thought if I went to the gym, it would offset everything else I put in my body. Not the case.
Yeah, please, yeah. Our lovely waitress is just cleaning up our table here at the moment. Thank you, that was delicious. Yeah. So now that you're 40, you haven't drunk in how long, did you say?
It's been a little over a year.
A little over a year, amazing. And has it felt effortless, or has it felt challenging, or has it felt conducive to doing business, or challenging to do business sometimes?
Yeah, I would say it's actually been a big improvement in the business performance, because I can focus more. Like, so the challenge with drinking, especially in your 40s, is there's so much downtime, right? The hangovers are debilitating. So maybe you go out for a drink, one drink turns into two, turns into three, and the brain fog and the downtime from missing workouts, from not being as productive. It's very costly when you add it up if you go out for drinks every weekend, right? I mean, that's 52 weeks in a year. That's 52 times, 52 down days a year. Like, that's a lot of downtime, right? And what I've realized is it's a lot easier to just tell people I don't drink versus I drink selectively, or I choose to drink less tonight. That was the big unlock. I actually did this as a unintentional test years ago. As a grown-up Catholic, you give up something for Lent. And so, a couple times I would give up alcohol, right? And if you say, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, people peer pressure you. Oh, come on, have a beer. But if you say, I'm not drinking tonight because of religious reasons, like Lent, dude, they don't touch that. No one wants to get into religion, right? Okay, so I'll leave it alone, fine. But then I said, hey, man, why do I drink if I feel so good when I'm not drinking, right? And when I chose to stop drinking in May of last year, I said, you know what, I want to find ways to optimize my health as I approach 40, and drinking doesn't add to my life, right? I can't see any value to my health that it brings. So, people talk about red wine, just eat some grapes, take some resveratrol pills, like, you're fine. Like, it's not that additive to your health. And it's way easier. Like, I get way more done. I have way better connections with people. And I find even at networking events, everybody, that's drinking, they're gonna forget some of what happened, right? And I'm just like dialed in, on point. My sleep is always better. One, because I don't have alcohol in my system. Two, because I go to bed earlier. Because the later you stay out, it's like most of those nights are alcohol driven, right? Oh, who cares? We'll stay out. We're drinking, blah, blah, blah. And when you're not drinking, you can still go out and have a good time, but you're probably going to go home a little bit earlier, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, I really like how you give a reason. I'm not drinking tonight because, and then you gave the religious reason or whatever the reason was, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you just say, I'm not drinking, and you don't even need the because.
Yeah.
You don't even need the reason, right? But that's a great little tip for you if you're listening, like giving a reason, like a because, and just testing that out and seeing what the reaction is until you become like Jedi Master where you're just like, I don't drink?
Well, you know what's even better is initially when I just said I don't drink, people were used to Billy the drink. Oh, this guy is Billy, he's our friend, he drinks, he's a fun guy, he drinks. And they associate fun with drinking and all this kind of stuff. And I can still have fun. But they say like, why? Why aren't you drinking? Why don't you drink anymore? What happened? And I said, well, if you want to know, I'm turning 40 soon. I'm trying to figure out how to reverse my age and become, like, I want to be in the best shape of my life, my entire life. That's what I'm going for. I want to be in the best shape this year. And alcohol, it kills my brain cells. It destroys my liver. It ages me faster. It, like, reduces my productivity. Why do I have it in my life? And as I go through these reasons of how it impacts me, they feel smaller and smaller, and the questions go away really quickly when they realize, like, hey man, I should probably be doing this too.
Yeah. And you know what, the big thing that people worry about when they think when they're getting ready to stop drinking or when they're stopping drinking is that they're going to be dull, they're going to be boring, they won't be able to go out into environments where there is alcohol. Here you and I are, we're at a table, I'm looking across the table, I see two lovely ladies there. One of them is drinking a Japanese beer, the other one's drinking what looks like a white wine, a Riesling or something. I mean, there's alcohol all around us. The waitress asked us if we wanted a drink, we just politely smiled and declined that invitation. It is possible to go out and have fun without alcohol. So my question is, how do you have fun without alcohol? And now we've got a waiter who's delivering our food. 1 second. Oh, beautiful. What's that?
That's the duck.
That's the duck? Okay, cool. We got duck, we've got, what's this? Ginger beef. Got a little bit of white rice, yep. And we got, no, I think we're good actually. Yeah, place to share, thank you, yeah. So my question to you is, how do you find ways to enjoy your life if it's not going out and drinking with friends or going to watch the football games and drinking beer and things like that? Like, how do you still derive pleasure being alcohol free?
I would say life is more vibrant without alcohol. You know, it's like it seems as though when you're drinking, sometimes it's quote unquote more fun, you're having a good time, but honestly, I've had better times, you know, without alcohol. Plus, I enjoy my life more. You know, being able to wake up early on the weekend and go outside and be active or get more workouts in, or just have less downtime and feel more like I'm optimizing what little life we have, right? This life is so minuscule. Like, why am I going to waste it being hungover or feeling a little groggy the next day from alcohol? So what I find is, like, I'm just able to do a lot more, whether it's like enjoy travel more, enjoy hanging out with friends more, get some work done, and be more effective in that aspect. So, like, I don't know, it's not really that I change the activities. If anything, I do more activities. Like, I'm able to wake up earlier, I get more weekend workouts in, I get more like outdoor activities, whether it's paddleboarding early on a Saturday or something like this. Like, I just feel more inclined to do those things. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll get stuck into our dinner now. Where can our listener find out more about you? And you know what? Billy's got this amazing social media video that went viral recently, which by the time you listen to this, could be up to about 10 million views. It's around 9 million views now, is it? 7.5 million views. And what was the video about, and where can they find it?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Iconic Life, ICONIC Life, and my name is Billy Bosch, BOSCH. So if you look either of those things up on Instagram, you'll find me, and then I've got stuff I post on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter as well. And, you know, the video was just me sharing my experience with gluten in Italy. So I've had big issues with gluten in the US, which just in terms of like my skin reactions. I've had lifelong, what doctors think is psoriasis, and it turns out gluten is a big cause of that. And when I went to Europe, I said, let me just try the gluten here. I've heard it impacts people less. And man, I was crushing chocolate croissants every day and pizza and pasta with like no impact. It's crazy. And so I posted a video about eating this chocolate croissant and how like the gluten in Europe is just like way less impactful and way less harmful for my body than the gluten in the US. And it just went crazy. And a lot of people with celiac in the US especially, they don't want to believe it. They're like, there's no way this could be true. This guy's a liar, it's not true. And then the people that have been to Europe, they're like, it's totally true, I've been there, it works, it's true. And so it just created a conversation. But yeah, check out that video and check out the profile.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Billy. Well, let's get into this dinner. If I keep interviewing you and getting you to talk, I'll eat all of our food.
This is true.
Thanks so much for listening. I hope this was helpful and impactful. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Hi, this is James Swanwick, and we're taking applications for our 90-day and 1-year stop drinking programs. Clients are mostly executives, entrepreneurs, and investors who have tried unsuccessfully and repeatedly to stop drinking but remain stuck in a frustrating cycle of stop-start. Our programs are not AA, which has a reported 7% success rate. Our programs are not rehab, which has a reported 6% success rate. Our 90-day and 1-year programs involve a safe, fun, virtual community of high achievers with a process that boasts an incredible 92% success rate of clients reaching at least 90 consecutive days alcohol-free. We use the latest neuroscience and personal development processes to help rewire clients' brains around alcohol and minimize its importance in their lives. We will show you how to powerfully socialize with friends, family, and colleagues, what to say and how to say it so people don't mistakenly think that you're an alcoholic or have a problem, and how to eliminate the temptation of returning to constant drinking so you can finally break the stop-start cycle. To ensure client success, Project 90 can only accept 15 new clients each month. Some of those happy clients include John Keltner from California, who said, "I've lost 10 pounds." Susie Vaughn, a real estate broker in Tennessee, who said, "I've generated 20% more leads." Jessica Gaines-Jarbo from Kentucky, who says, "I've now got joy, focus, presence, and clarity." And Joe Worley from Michigan, who says, "My wife has the real Joe back." If you're an executive, entrepreneur, or investor who's sick of the stop-start cycle and the damaging effects alcohol has on your health, happiness, and family, and you're ready to regain confidence, become more present with your spouse and children, reduce stress, anxiety, and irritability, sleep better, increase focus and productivity, and feel better quickly, you're invited to apply to become a Project 90 client. Applicants can apply for an introductory interview by visiting alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90. There's a link in the show notes which you can just click, but that link is alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90.